asked, there has not been a 6
Yeah,
across.
it's really
Got
weird.
it. Okay.
Very
Let me see.
strange.
I will look at today's and see if there's a 6 across.
Very strange conspiracy stuff, chat.
Password today.
Very strange conspiracy
I
stuff.
don't care about that. There is a 6 across today.
Dang.
But I didn't ask.
I know.
See? So we fooled it. Had I asked what is 6 across, there would not have been a 6 across today. This is the Matrix part played.
This
This
is
is how you know we're in a simulation.
the Matrix.
One of the many reasons we know we're in a simulation.
You know what I love about these guys, by the way, Jason? The heavy units for Heretic Legion. I read a little bit of the lore the other day. And so the way that you get, like, brought into the fold, you, like, walk down towards hell or something like that. You on your own little pilgrimage. And most people go crazy on the way there. Some people make it to the gate. And when you get to the gate, or when you can see the gate, they're like, cool, you're cool enough to be a heretic guy.
What's happening? Stuff going on.
What's the matter?
We had some dropped frames. I think it stopped and started because I just got another notification that we're live.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And now they're like saying, uh-oh. And
Is it back? Are we back on? It looks fine.
Yeah, our upload seems to be good.
It looks fine. Tell them to refresh.
But anyways, when people go through to become more the anointed heavy dudes, all their flesh burns off.
Are you talking about heretic stuff?
Yeah.
Because I am not interested.
What? Come on, but it's cool.
It's not.
It's dark and dreary and gross and cool stuff.
You worship hell. You've sided with Satan. You're no friend of mine. No friend of Satan is a friend of mine.
Well, hold on. Our
This game is how you can have religious battles, verbal religious battles against your friends, and act like it's not real. You can be like, I detest those who side with Satan, and everybody's like, haha, that game's fun. And then you can go home at night and go, they are not true believers. It was a guitar. Yeah, he's playing a guitar. He's rocking out.
I mean, he's got that like stance that like
It does. It could be like he's the bass player.
instead he's rocking out with a flamethrower.
I think everything's okay, but the restream thing is showing both channels offline. But we're chatting. You guys can still see us and hear us, right?
Anybody on YouTube?
We had somebody earlier.
Well, huzzah, huzzah!
I saw
I'll
Rattle
just throw
Can
back my
earlier.
legs and pollute my britches with delight.
Our very own Ray Silver.
Oh no, Defresh maybe is not. Yeah, Defresh is on YouTube.
Ray Silver coming in with the 92 months.
Okay, yeah, Defresh is on YouTube. So it's streaming, and we're seeing chat, so we're just going to go with it. Technology at its finest right here, folks.
True.
Ray Silver, you should be working.
You should be working.
We're
Like,
good?
Ruben.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Christopher.
Yep, having some issues with stream a little bit right here at the beginning, it seems like. Oh.
Things being a little
Feel like we're
wonky.
back up and running.
It sucks so bad being a company that, you try to be in control of your own destiny so much, and for 9 years it's completely out of our control. Like I can remember the days where Jen and I'd get sat down, playing an important stream, and then the neighbors, drill the cable.
And then fled.
And then fled.
Wait,
They really
what?
did. Our
The
old
people who were working.
yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Our old house, when we would work from the house, we had the studio there, obviously, and they were building a retaining wall in the front of their house, and it was being built by people who don't have the proper construction licenses,
Mm-hmm.
and they were digging and they hit the gas line and the cable.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah, they didn't breach the gas line, thank goodness.
Okay, good.
But they did cut the cable completely in half. And they didn't cut the cable that was the thin line to the house. They cut the main feed,
No,
the amplifier line for our whole neighborhood. So our whole neighborhood lost internet. The internet company had to come bring a line underground. They had to dig a hole in the street and feed a whole new service line underground, and they went after the neighbors for some ridiculous amount of money.
I'm sure they didn't ever pay.
But yeah, they say that they'll send them an invoice, and when they don't pay it, they write it off. Like, they don't chase after them for anything. I was like, well, then what's the what's the real punishment?
Dollars.
What's that?
Wasn't it like tens of thousands?
Oh, it was like over $40,000. Yeah.
Oh my.
Well, yeah, because you were paying for a crew of like 4 dudes.
I mean, the truck and the big spool of cable that they had was crazy.
They said the cable alone was tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it was crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, we didn't have internet for a while.
How do you mess up that bad? Not knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's
But
actually pretty easy.
That whole construction crew fled the scene.
Yeah.
We're nowhere to be found.
Probably like their cousin or something. You know, it was probably not like a legit operation.
I went out there and I said,
didn't have any
hey.
kind of permits. They didn't call before they dug. You know, supposed to call Southwest Gas before you dig anything to make sure you're not digging in the gas line.
It's like 811 or something.
Yeah, they make it real easy.
Yeah, they didn't call. They didn't do anything. And when I went out there and showed them what they had broken, they immediately left. Packed up and split. They realized what they'd done and they were gone.
Jason, there's something on this model that shouldn't be on this model.
A weenus?
It has a weenus.
Well, there you go.
Derpstick said, so I guess one of the ivory colors for that guy's skin tone that Jason is doing, or maybe one of the warmer skin tones, so it doesn't look so albino. I don't know if you did.
Well, I'm not gonna do albino per se. I would need to go with a lot more magenta underneath. I'm gonna stick with purples and like grayish skin tones. Yeah, you know, I've been using the flesh tones along with bright warm gray to do flesh. That gives it kind of a pale look as much as I want it to. But I've been going and adding in some warmth back in as if they are alive and just dirty. Right, but I won't do him the same way. I might use the same colors and then just build up different highlights.
Hercor said, is that purple already dry?
Yeah. Our paint's dry pretty quick. All acrylics dry pretty quick. Ours stay open a little bit longer than others.
Colonel has a question for you, Jason. I've been watching the live streams from when you were painting the Mad Cat from Battletech. Mentioned a video on painting the Raven Guard. Find it.
Raven Guard?
Oh, it's probably from when you did that.
Oh, on
segment.
YouTube. Yeah, the Space Marine. It's called From, I don't remember. Ugly to Awesome. Painting black armor.
A tutorial video, not a stream.
It's a tutorial.
It's a tutorial video.
Yeah, we turned it into a tutorial video, so it's not in the live section. It's in the actual video list, and it's called From like Rough to Awesome or something like that. How to paint painting black armor.
And you basically prepped like a good chunk of models the exact same way, and you did them all in different colors, right?
No.
Or am I thinking about different?
Each one was done sort of differently, but yes, I painted them all using underpainting and then transparent.
Got it. Okay.
Largely, but they were all underpainted differently.
Cool.
We did a bunch of the major chapters.
Yeah,
I didn't do white scars or salamanders.
Those models turned out really, really good.
Did Ultramarines, Dark Angels, which Dark Angels I kind of took some liberty to make it a brighter green so that people could go either Dark Angels or Salamanders with that step. Blood Angels, Imperial Fists, Raven Guard. Gives you good sampling across all of the non-heretics, because nobody needs to know how to paint heresy colors.
Whoa.
I'm just saying. The truth is all I speak. The truth is all I speak, Jordan.
There are aspiring heretics out there that need to know how to paint these things.
Well, they can go learn from a heretic company.
Whoa. Thought we were being inclusive of heretics these days, Jason.
No, we haven't had that conversation, Jordan.
Me sad.
It makes me sad. I'm very sad.
I am saddened.
I
by this.
can't wait for like the social media to blow up. Like, can't buy Monument Hobbies. They don't support the heresy. We support the right side of the heresy. I might just leave them purple.
Are you doing all the skin on those guys?
I might
too?
as well. I got a
Nice,
big
yeah.
pile of purple over here, so I might as well
Yeah.
just get all of this based for the skin, since my whole army's barefoot.
Crazy to me that they're all barefoot.
It's the part I love the most.
It is really cool, to be honest.
It's the part of it. There is nothing that says I'm insane more than being barefoot in war and happy about it. It's not like these guys are like running away from the war and they just lost their boots. They were running so fast. No, these guys are going towards the problem barefoot,
and they're barefoot still.
and they're barefoot. So
Gates of Paint, Rand, Pedro, everyone.
hello.
Hello. It's Tuesday.
Roadside Miniature said the guy Jason is painting is definitely about to ring the bell. What?
That is my favorite terminology.
Ring someone's bell.
Yes, about to ring your bell, son.
Surf Six said, "Does bright warm gray have a hint of green in it, like it from
Yes.
the product page?"
Yep, a little bit of yellowish, greenish, you could call it. I like it because it will give a little bit of warmth to that desaturation that you want with gray. It acts as an amazing tint for flesh tones. It doesn't, desaturate them too much because it has that warmth, kind of like an ivory, khakis, all those colors that keep you in that range.
Colonel, I'm looking for that video too, and point you in the right direction.
I'm pretty sure it's called From Rough to Awesome.
How
It was a
old would
while
it be?
ago.
Huh?
How old was it?
Pretty old.
Pretty old.
Yeah, it's a while ago.
And it was. What kind of model were you painting?
A Space Marine.
Okay.
Black Space Marine.
It was before I was here, for sure. So it's at least almost 2 years old.
Yeah, probably 2022, whenever that box set came out, right? Maybe longer than that. Holy cow. Maybe 21. Yeah, because it was at the old building that I painted all those. I think you can search rough to awesome.
Yeah, no, I did, but it searches all of you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
no,
no.
there's a search that's down low.
Well, I know. I'm trying to find it, but I'm on my phone. So.
It's this one.
That does look so
Oh.
good.
There you go.
Somebody found it?
Someone wrote it in chat. 4 years old. Okay, well, I'm glad that you found
years.
it.
4 years old.
It's an old one.
Dang. Jason, it's like you've been painting for a while or something.
I mean, I am old. Is that an old joke? Now you're definitely sacrificial lamb.
Hold on, Jason. That wasn't supposed to be an old joke. Why'd you take it as an old joke?
Zero Station said, just got my metallics expansion in the mail. Are there any plans to expand the color range? Would love a metallic rose gold. Make one.
Can definitely make one. I don't remember. There's a stream where I did a workup of that. If I recall, I mixed.
We
What
do have
was
a
it?
couple other metallics that are not in that set.
Yeah.
That are in other sets. But not a rose
Dark bronze and
magnesium.
magnesium.
You can do rose gold fairly simply with a little bit of bright gold and just a very, very, very small amount of transparent.
Red. Yeah.
And that makes a really nice rose gold.
That's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for colors like that, we tend to not take the approach of, hey, let's make another paint. That you because you can mix our colors so well, they give you exactly what you're looking for every time. That being able to take rich gold or any of the golds, if you want it darker, you can take like bronze and do a little bit of red. Any of the yellow metals with a little bit of red transparent will start moving you towards that color. Really simple to accomplish, and you don't have to do any complex mixing or.
Gordo said that guy's showing off his bright purple boots. He is sassy now.
They're barefoot.
Well, that's what someone else said. They're really looking for their shoes that they lost the night before at the party.
Yeah, they're all barefoot.
Tech Elf, wish my students would stop asking me questions so I could pay more attention to the stream.
That's so funny.
Shush, you fools. Can't you see I'm busy nerding out?
Silly students. He's got to get the students to nerd out as well.
Papa Chicken. I don't know what this was in reference to, but Papa Chicken just said, Jason is a strong, sensitive man, baby Jason.
Strong sense of what?
Strong, sensitive man.
Yes.
Iterator, yep, we sure did. Lots of orders. We're working real hard to get them fulfilled, but this time of year is definitely a longer turnaround time for us. We fulfill in the order received. So the team, I think, is currently working on still Thursday. It'll be all week long. Quite a process.
Yeah, we're always amazed if by the end of the week we get dug out.
Yeah, we'll usually be on something like a Black Friday, or like when we've done new product releases, it usually takes about a week to get caught up.
It's still impressive considering how big our team is that they're able to get it all caught up. They're
4
awesome.
People who put paint in boxes, get sent out. Extra love. We don't charge extra. And they do a great job.
Wait, the extra love is free?
It's free. Yep.
Whose decision was that?
Mine.
Jen's like,
There's not
that's
a whole
my
lot.
decision.
There's not a whole lot that I give away. Extra
But
love in box is free.
She's not lying, chat. She's not lying.
Jen,
Do not lick this gift horse in the mouth.
that might be my favorite response I've heard from you in a while.
I don't give a lot away for free, but extra love?
You were just
We got that.
right in there with it.
She goes, me! Nobody's going to tell me different.
Blood Walrus,
The love is free.
Hello.
Need to do a commercial with Jen. That the love is free. You'll take it and you'll like it.
Yeah, you don't get a choice.
There's no
Love
choice.
is included whether you want
Whether
it or
you
not.
like it or not.
Gosh, it'd be so good to do like a quarterly report. You guys are going over the section on free love being
love.
sent out.
So, hey, Jen, are we at the point where we can start charging for the love in the box?
Not yet. Flapjack said didn't bright gold and dark magenta make a good rose gold?
Probably. Any
Sounds
reds
like
and
it
yellow
would.
metal. Dark magenta is almost like one of our transparent paints in the way it acts.
Colonel said, Jason, it's okay. I'm old too and still have my Eldar that I painted back in 1995.
I mean,
Wow.
those are probably pretty cool though.
Yeah, me beat. I don't think I have any armies from that time. I have a couple of miniatures from the 90s. Oh,
That's
yeah.
95 is
Somebody likes
No.
it.
95
I
is
meant the early 2000s. I don't know that I have. I'm thinking, though, that I might have one or two. When we go and check my storage facility and get it cleaned out, I think there's some stuff over there.
Panic Bomb, how do I do rose magnesium? Same thing.
Yeah, that process is exactly the same.
Valthorn said, Jordan just shot you an email about a possible texture issue. Not sure if it's normal or not because it didn't show up until the next morning, and I saw the same thing on a Flame On piece. Okay, well, we'll look for the email.
Yeah, I'll take a look. We'll look into it.
Iterator, we appreciate that patience, especially at this. Quite a good number of emails about where's my order.
I think it's Black Friday. It will be here very soon. hopefully.
Derpstick, think your next paint purchase will be tan flesh. Saw a video where they feature it and say it's a great as a base for white skin. Put a flesh wash over it, highlight the skin with tan flesh again.
Yep.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's very bright. It's almost a misnomer to call it tan flesh. I thought long and hard about changing that name about 3 times, but I always stop short because I don't like changing the name of paints that people have already used a lot.
Very concerned for the day that extra love is no longer in my budget.
It'll take a long time before.
I remember the days they didn't charge for the love. Then they went all corporate.
You don't get the extra love buying at the FLGS. You do, though. You do. Because you're supporting a small business. And that is love right there.
A different kind of love.
Different kind of love.
Still love, though. Still love.
Hopefully they say thank you when you purchase from them. Yeah, like Zombie said. Give your FLGS the love and stuff.
Big fans and supporters of your local gaming store.
Definitely.
They make all of this so much better when you can get out to a place and find fellow nerds, whether you know them or not. Go hang out. Especially, I've always found that when I move to new areas, just going and like breaking out some painting tools and painting in a store you don't know anybody in, it just starts so many conversations with new people because they'll just sit down and talk about your miniatures, talk about the colors you're using, give you ideas. It just is such an open realm. Whereas, you know, you can't just kind of go in and play a game by yourself necessarily. You got to find somebody. But you can go in and sit and paint, and then you find all the people in a more organic method to just be like, oh, cool, I want to hang out with these people, and I'll paint, and then we can, what armies are you playing? And
now, for some people, that might sound terrible. But looking for a place to meet new people, LGS is a Colonel said that we actually sent the order very quickly, ordered Noosh last Monday, got it last Friday, haven't played around with the Noosh yet. Yeah, that was before Black Friday.
Yeah, before Black Friday. Anything before Black Friday
Anything
was
before
easy.
Black Friday was normal.
Orders placed before about the beginning of Wednesday last week were probably good.
Yep.
And even some of the Wednesday ones, because we did come in on Friday. And they knocked out a tremendous amount of orders that day. I hope that makes it a little easier for the rest of the week, but it's always a deluge around here in the holidays, which we love. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
It does require a little bit more patience from everybody involved, including the people here.
Sophus, we used to go every week and paint at the game store. Jason and I. Jason more than I did. I would some days have. This was before we started Monument, and
you went to paint as well.
Jen would go down. We would go down on Mondays.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Jen and I would go on Mondays and paint.
Place? It's got a different name now. I can't even remember what it used to be called. Completely.
Now it's called.
Blank.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called.
Games
Something Cards and Games. It's the partners from Old World bought it.
Yeah, when we lived out there. And then moved out this way, I would go less often because still had it. Source said, "Will the 24 new colors make me a better painter?" It'll give you more paint to use, so maybe.
So you know what our story on Pro Acryl is, right? Is that a great painter can make any paint look great. A great paint will make every painter look so much better. And we are a great paint. So by definition, the answer is yes. Will it be those 24 colors? Only if they inspire you. Will those 24 colors play directly in making you a great painter? Because Pro Acryl in general will make you a much better painter. Because it just is better. But the colors have to inspire you. So, you know, you may have colors that you don't ever use because they just don't ever speak to you. Nothing wrong with that in the world. We try to show you fun ways to use all the colors in the lineup because sometimes we get bogged down on, I don't know, I never really use pink for anything, you know? And then you find out that pink is so great as, you know, a particular underpaint or a highlight for a color. And then you're like, oh, it's just changed my whole thing.
Yeah, I talk about this all the time, where I'll be using a particular color and then I'll try something else out and I'll be like, oh man, this is awesome. And then I just use it on the next 3 or 4 projects because it's like in the wheelhouse now.
Punisher's being real sassy today.
Punisher
said Source, I think he's trying to say that you're not a great painter. That's what I took from that.
Whoa.
I don't think that's what he was saying.
Wow. When have you ever heard me say somebody's not a great painter? That's not how we talk around here.
Iterator said, I love these streams, make me want to try new stuff. My list of things to do is outpacing my time to do them.
That's the big problem. Yeah. Trust me, we're in the same spot.
Oh, Source was hoping for the answer. They will if you use them to paint many minis.
It's a given.
True, when I dump my mini in the paint itself, it looks better than the other paints. I feel like a professional.
That's why it's called Pro Curl.
Make
everybody a
I'm
pro.
looking forward to the new colors, especially number 14.
Yeah, all the new colors are amazing. I've got some here that I might bust out on the skin for this guy we're about to do.
Me never.
I'm jealous. I don't even get to try them out yet.
Oh my gosh. Isophis said I found an excuse to use dark hot pink, painting pink fuzzy slippers on Admech Santa.
Admech Santa?
This whole thing sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that's right up Jen's alley. She's going to start playing Admech now.
I just want to paint something with pink fuzzy slippers. Roadside Miniatures, you're a horrible painter, but you're trying to get better? I mean, that's the first step. But you're also probably not a horrible painter.
Yeah.
There are probably painters that are worse.
Well, and you're only judging yourself if you're doing it right against what you painted last.
Exactly.
So you are always a better painter.
So route? Yes. I'm not a bad painter, even if I just douse my minis in apple barrel craft paint.
Nope.
If you continue to do that and get better at it, then you're not a bad painter.
Exactly.
Just trying makes you ahead of the game, right? You're way ahead of all those people who've never picked up a paintbrush.
Well, and stop equating the tools to the quality of the painter. Like I said, a great painter can take all those tools and make them into great things. As a beginning painter, it is better to have great tools because they will make you even better at what you're trying to do quicker. And you'll find ways to, work into, the hobby hacks and all those kinds of things from there.
Roadside, the fuzzy slippers Santa is from Ford. Is that the one you're talking about? My brother's painting one for our charity drive.
Nice. I'm painting a bunch of purple feet.
Got about 20 minutes before.
All right. Time to paint fast, Jason.
I don't gotta paint fast. You gotta paint fast.
Why do I have to paint?
You're the MC on this boat.
Am I?
Yep.
Well, I suppose that's true.
I get to look at all the pretty pictures.
I've already looked at all the pretty pictures.
You cheated.
I mean, I kind of have to.
Oh, as you design the slideshow. I guess that's true. We can't really be arbitrary about that. Somebody has to put the slideshow together.
I don't mind doing it, but I do have to look at
when we first started doing this, it was literally me and Jen turning on the Discord for the first time to look at them the day of. But then it got to where there's just too many. Yeah, and hunting through the Discord to figure out what's the right photo and all that stuff becomes a trial.
We have over 30 of submissions.
30 submissions for Monochrome. I love it.
36.
Ooh, bud, that sounds like a good one. But it's awesome. Sound checking Amy Mann.
Amy Mann?
Yeah.
I liked Amy Mann.
And watching Jordan paint Rosie from Jetsons.
Amy Mann had big blonde hair, right?
Yeah. She was in Till Tuesday? Was that?
Yeah, Till Tuesday.
Yeah. Jordan's not the one he's painting now. Were you painting a different model recently? Does not look like Rosie from the Jetsons.
In this?
No, that doesn't. I don't know what looks like Rosie from the Jetsons.
This?
Oh.
The robot?
Oh, let me see.
This is like the only models I've been painting lately.
I'm not seeing it. Maybe I missed.
I don't think this guy
Are you
has.
thinking you'll order the Pro Sable brush set soon? Never used sable brushes before, but I've heard their league's better than synthetic. It's truly personal preference.
Yeah, 100%.
One style of brush is not better than the other
Correct.
in a vacuum. One might be better for you than a different style
If
would
you've
be.
got a synthetic size that you like a lot, you might want to try and get a comparable size in a sable to compare rather than buying the whole set, because they're pretty different.
So the War Priestess here, or War Priest, is modeled with a more like African facial features and such. So we'll do dark skin, but I'm still going to do the royal purple underpaint for it. So we'll walk you through that. Unfortunately, I think that's it. She's armored everywhere else except for the face. So
Colonel, there's your Discord link for you. Derpstick has the 0 through 3 sables, been the Sam Lens set. You've already got those then. Sam Lens is a 0, 1, and 3 sable and 2 number 6 synthetics.
yep.
So if you're looking to get something different to expand the range of sables that you've tried, that's going to give you brushes that you already have. The Sin Eater is the one that looks like Rosie. Which is that?
Oh, okay, that's true.
Oh, okay. I can see it a little in the face now.
That's true.
Definitely in the face. Or what is where a face would be.
Yeah.
I can see it.
It's a little disturbing, but
Roadside said, okay, so I'm hopping on the bandwagon for base coating everything in purple. My brain still struggles with purple goes with everything, but I can't argue with results.
Yeah, it really does. It's crazy, right? It's just, when you take blue and red, you're taking a cool color and a warm color and popping them together, and that makes it run the gamut of being able to tie into other colors, because color temperature has a huge part to play in whether or not, a color works well with another. And you've got the two right there, the ones that drive warmth and coolness. So, done. Everything else is easy. Now, it's funny because we always say the only color I don't underpaint purple for is purple.
Mike.
I'll switch over to blues or like mahogany or something like that. Something that trends a little to one side or the other of the blue-red mix. Even green sometimes can work, depending on what you're painting.
Mike is here, and he has 4 minutes before he needs to join a call that he's already late to.
Well, that doesn't math out. But okay, hi. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Do you have a how late can you be? Is that how that works?
Is this 4
Good to
minutes
see you,
before they
man.
lock the door?
Hope you're doing all right. Now I'm painting purple prisoner legs.
Cordell, hello. B4AC Ryden said, I use dark plum as a base coat for most things now. It's dark enough, it looks good in shadows, and makes blue greens pop.
Yep, dark plum is another one.
Like a good choice.
Sits in that same range, right? A little bit more red, but still has a purplish family feel to it. So great color. I love dark plum. We use it as the mid-tone for my Blood Angels and the shadow for the Death Company portion of my Blood Angels. And it works like a champ. That's the kind of mentality we hope to instill upon you, is looking at colors in that way that, it's like, oh, you know what? I have this color that I never use. Like maybe it's a dark purple. Maybe purple's not your favorite color to just, paint an army purple. And our brains tend to think of color that way. Like, well, I don't want a purple army, so I don't ever use purple. But realizing that, but purple can be the shadow for every army you paint that isn't purple. And all of a sudden it becomes one of your most used paints that you don't really ever know. Like, just handing your models to somebody, they'd never know that you use purple on everything until they really dig in and start looking with that discerning eye. But they'll always say, wow, these models look great because they have more depth. Not everybody can really put words to why, but it's those little nuances that will make your models look better, right? You learn that the first time you do a wash and a dry brush versus just base coating your model and leaving it alone. The first time you shade a model and dry brush it, you have now added depth by shadows and volume and highlights for volume through the dry brushing. And, you know, your model will look tons better that way.
Hello, Paint Licker. Face Smasher said in the Monochrome challenge I used royal purple. I was surprised that it reads pink when really diluted.
Sure.
Drifter Bear said gonna try and use burgundy for a snow wolf. Shall see what happens.
Awesome. Burgundy's another good one. Kind of rides that fine line between reds and purples.
Purple is kind of nature's shadow color.
It really is.
It
Dark
really
blues
is.
and purples, when you look at shadow, that's
Yeah.
what you're really getting, is a cooled off tone of the other colors that are on the thing you're looking at.
Purple's such a weird
Barney
color.
was purple. Yeah.
In such a good way.
Barney
like-
was purple in a good way?
Barney was purple.
No, I was saying I like purple. It's weird in a good way.
Oh my gosh. That's fun.
Good luck, Mike.
What's that?
Off to my third meeting in an hour.
Wow, that's a lot.
No, and I'm seeing the AdMech Santa.
Oh,
It's pretty fun.
it's pretty fun.
Yeah. It does have slippers on. With like bows on the top. Maybe that's snow. I don't. And it's got like ornaments all wrapped around it. That's really cute.
Have you seen, babe? Have you seen the cat that Mashik is painting?
Uh-uh.
Oh, I
Oh.
did see that.
If you have your phone, go to Flameon's Instagram
Okay.
and go back a couple of posts,
So
like to like the second row down,
Okay.
and you're gonna fall in love with this cat.
Uh-oh.
Are you talking about the Neko Galaxy pet cat that he's
Yeah,
painting?
he's painting it with his entire paint set,
It's so cute.
right?
So cute.
We were talking, and I was like, I need you to focus on using those colors on other materials
Yeah. besides
than metal.
just- yeah.
And he's like, oh, I got a great thing coming up.
Oh
I'm
my
doing
God,
this
that's
fur
amazing.
and this cloak, and you can see the cloak that he's doing too, where he did like a bunch of stipple blending. That's just phenomenal. Using
So
Yeah,
fun.
the fur that he did, I watched the bit where he was doing the fur, and I was like,
It's
this is
insane.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing is just
The
face.
fur. Yeah.
it's insane. He's insane.
He's not insane. He's a wonderful human being.
Who's is insane?
Okay, I might. Yep. Okay. Yep. Can't really argue with that part now.
I asked him. He's a new father.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I keep asking him like if he's getting any sleep.
Magic
And he
is
keeps
a new
coming back
father?
saying the only thing that's a problem right now is that his
Mhm.
back
Is that what he
hurts.
said? Oh.
Yeah,
So
they
his
had their
back
baby
hurts.
back in October, I think.
Aw.
Oh.
So
Mhm.
fun.
Purple Prisoner. Purple Prisoner number 2. This guy's not quite as exuberant as the last guy. This guy's not as happy about it as this guy is.
Cannibalistic Zombie has questions about the December challenge. Are we allowed to use warm colors, or are we expected to exclusively use cool ones? Or should cool just be the primary colors on the model? And what about warm colors that are associated with winter, such as rich reds and greens, like holly leaves, berry?
So, in my mind, you can use warm colors, but only, like, for example, if you were to use what I would consider to be like a warm color, you would be painting like a red cloak. But that red cloak you wouldn't use bold pyro red for, because it's the whole idea is that you're painting a cold environment. That cloak is not going to appear red in an environment that is that cold. It's going to be more of a burgundy color than it would be like a more traditional red color.
Yeah, you gotta think about it. When you're looking for painting a cold scene, what would set up that scene? The lack of a brilliant sun, probably, right? Not that you can't have a sunny winter day and have it still be cold, but that's not what we're going for, right? You're trying to give the appearance of being cold. So you're going to want to sap a lot of the saturation of color out, because that's what happens in that cool vignette style. You don't get the colors just popping. Think of, grays and cold, and it doesn't have to necessarily be wet, but that's the vibe that I get when I talk that way, is that, you get like cold and wet afternoon or night, and what those colors look like Jordan's saying.
A good example too, just to get an exaggerated example of this, is like go watch clips from a movie where everything is like in Antarctica or something and is really cold, because most of those movies will have a filter on the film that makes everything feel colder than it normally is. And that's kind of the idea, right, that you want to think of. And it can give you some inspiration on kind of the general idea of what we're looking for.
Watch The Thing.
That's a great example. Funny enough, great example.
Iterator said, how about ice reflecting flame?
Yeah, I mean, you could do some really cool stuff.
Dip model in snow texture. Easy.
Frosty the Snowman.
Now, what if, for example, somebody did like a model of like a, I don't know, like somebody who's skiing and they're sitting in front of a fire, but they're wearing their like cold clothes, and you have the cold background and then you have the warmth from the fire that's close by them. Would that still work?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I mean, when I say do a scene that makes me feel cold, you just have to make us feel cold.
Yeah.
If you sit somebody next to a fire and they're warming themselves and you paint it and it makes me feel like, oh my God, that's got to be the most cozy fire in the world because look how cold that person is.
Yep.
Then you win.
Yep.
You may not win, but you get my drift. That's how you do that. This is all about storytelling with color. That's usually what we're trying to push you to, is to find a way to let your use of color, placement of color, and all of that bring the entire composition together in a way that tells that story to whoever looks at it, right? It's one of the hardest things to do in creative space, right? Think about if you were making a video game, how hard it is to pull off the look to make everybody feel what you were dreaming, when you did it. Then take that and say, okay, now I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book that's going to tell everybody, it's going to make everybody feel chilled to the bone, right? You ever read Stephen King's Misery? Stephen King makes you feel cold reading that book in 115 degrees in Arizona in the summer, because you read about how cold it is as he's trapped in his house with his psychotic woman and there's no place to go, right? Yes. So there are ways to tell that story when the viewer might be standing in Arizona heat looking at your model. So I need to be able to make it feel cold. So just think in those terms, because that's what we're going to be looking for. Holy cow, I feel cold just looking at this. So what colors are available to you? Every color is available to you. Just do some research. Start thinking about how you could use those colors to provide a cold scene. Like Jordan was saying, you could just desaturate all of your colors to the point to where they're nearly gray with just a hint of color, and that makes them look cold.
Iterator said Prometheus made of ice holding a flaming marshmallow. Yes. Spitfire Miniature said, I know I asked yesterday. I'm really sorry. What do I need to do to use Pro Acryl spray primer on wood? I know I answered, but I completely forgot, and I have my notepad open this time.
Seal the wood first. And you can use the primer without sealing the wood, but the statement that I made yesterday is that the wood is highly porous. And so if you just spray paint of any kind at wood, it soaks up too much. And the problem is twofold. Number one, you waste a lot of paint trying to saturate the wood because it's drinking paint into the inside of the wood where you don't care if it's colored or not. So that's a waste. Why do that? And secondly, because that paint that soaks into the inside of the wood, depending on the wood, which you may not know and not be familiar with, it will have a problem with separating the grain. And so the grain can start to pop, and it might make the plinth rough. So seal it with a polyurethane. Sand it, seal it with like a clear polyurethane sealer. Let that dry for a couple days. That'll be a nice smooth wood plinth that is wood colored that you can now prime over the top of. Done deal.
Source said all this artsy fartsy talk is making me feel alienated. Me, look at box art. Pick a bottle of paint. Nothing wrong with that.
All this artsy fartsy talk. Nobody trusts anybody now, and we're all very tired.
Phone apps that'll
Yes.
display any color, so you can just pick a light color there and shine it on a reference.
Yep.
Or take a photo where you like the colors and put like a cool filter over it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and start with the same color, number 14, that I'm using for all of these models.
It is 3 o'clock.
Oh, yes it is. Review time.
Time. Put on my MC hat.
All right.
McHat?
McHat.
You're a cat.
Yep.
Okay, so I go here and I start the slideshow,
Yep.
and then I hit whip.
Yeah, so you can hit
That's it?
slideshow first, and then it'll make it full screen, and then you can hit it on that, or you can hit it on the little. Yep, there you go.
Okay.
And then you can control with the arrows on the keyboard.
Yep.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our Monochrome challenge review for all of you wonderful people who participated.
Sorry, I like this name for number 14. Dark Olive Flesh, aka Tanned Fabio.
And Fabio. Oh gosh.
That's its new name.
Tanned Fabio.
It is new, iterator. You've never seen it before. Well, perhaps.
You've probably seen it before here on
Yeah.
stream.
Hello, Isophist. How you doing? We
Ready?
are going to go through all your guys' wonderful submissions for the Monochrome Challenge.
Purple.
Purple. So one of the things that I tried to do is include both the painted model as well as the bottle of paint or the color that you guys used as your color for the month.
That's an awesome idea.
Reference. So here we've got Face Masher, who did an awesome job actually. I love here that the reflection on the kneecap, like that thigh metallic plate, really does read as metallic. Like that, and the center like chest bit that goes on top of the robes. I really, really love that. You did a good job of adjusting the reflectivity of the material so that it felt different than the other things around it. That was one of the big things that Jason and I talked about when we first talked about this challenge. Is it's really important when you're doing a monochrome challenge to pick something and use the colors, to use the way that you highlight and shadow the colors, the materials, to differentiate what those materials are.
Really quick, Chills 340 Twitch said every time I hear Fabio, I remember the goose. Yes.
The goose?
I laughed as soon as I read it. Yeah,
The
He
goose?
was. I feel like he was on like a roller coaster, and a bird flew into his face.
Huh.
And yeah.
He had a bloody nose.
Yeah, he was
and
like bleeding from his face. And,
he was kind of a big, dainty man,
yeah.
is the best way to
A
describe Fabio.
big, dainty man.
Well, I mean, you could tell that he would bitch about the seat not being comfortable.
Fair enough. Okay.
Regnum Zero, hello.
Here we have a Ghoul Studio. I love the blade on this scythe here is really, really cool. What an interesting color to choose as well. Burnt
Yeah,
orange.
it's like reminds me of like a rusty statue.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Treebeard.
Oh my gosh, this one's fun.
I think this is really,
I like
really
this one a lot.
successful as well.
I love how the tentacles have got the bulk of vibrancy on them, almost so that it is appearing to glow over the witch or
You can actually see as well
magician.
on the underside of the hat, Jason.
Yep.
The light
Yep.
from it's reflecting.
What's the volume of entry? Go through these quickly.
There
or
are 36 entries.
Yes, we got
So
that
we're gonna-
compares to last month.
Yeah.
More? Less?
It's
Same?
just slightly less.
Okay.
I think we had 38 last month. So,
So
there's a good amount.
a brisk pace, but time
Yeah.
to reflect a little bit.
We've got a couple of minutes per model, maybe a little less if we go quickly. But yeah, I think this looks really, really good.
I really like the hat.
Like we talked about. Yeah, the hat. I think the highlighting on the hat looks really, really nice. It all feels like different textures, which is great. The skin looks and reads like skin, which is awesome.
Uh-huh.
I think this is really successful tree beard. Good job.
Good job here.
Awkwardish panda.
Oh my gosh, look how cute it is.
Wizard's butt.
Wizard's butt.
Wizard's butt.
Somebody's cheating.
Yeah,
What color it is?
this one's amazingly cute.
Yeah.
The desaturation keeps it in a very interesting state, right? Because it all has a very toned down effect that makes it, almost dreamy, like a cloud.
Yeah.
So it's really
I love
neat.
his little mouth.
And the little mouth. You
Is
know
it
what
like
this
a
reminds me of?
beholder of sorts?
You already know how that talks.
Yeah, it's a beholder.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a baby beholder.
It's like, hi guys.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
So cute.
Way to go,
I don't
panda.
think Awkward Panda's here. Oh, I
This
like
is great.
color.
Yeah, this is really cool. Also, Jade, perfect for this challenge.
Yeah.
Such a good color for this challenge.
Oh
I
yeah,
love-
definitely on this model too, because it's like the King of the Dead.
Yeah. Oh, it was a good color choice for the model, and also is
Yeah.
executed really, really well. You have good volumetric highlighting from top to bottom. The bottom of the model is a lot darker than the top is. You got nice reflectivity on the armor plate on the shoulder and on the sword and on the mace. The hair is a distinct kind of value in and of itself, which looks really, really good. Yeah, this is really successful. I think this is awesome.
Yeah, nice use of texturing on the various materials, just with the brushstroke too.
We got Elder Thad with a dwarf bard looking guy. This is cool. It's interesting for this one because you can get the skin tone plus black and white almost makes you just feel like you can just get all the colors that you want. It feels a little less monochromatic
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
than some of the other ones, just because of how varied you can get the colors if you really put like mostly white with a little bit of advanced flesh tone. I think this, to me, this misses the mark a little bit. But I mean, it's painted well. I like the way that the colors were used.
I think he's got a good job of utilizing it with the grays and getting the deep desaturated tones with the pants, with the black, and
The sleeve and the face are, to me, taking away from the monochromatic. Like it, I know it's the same color, but it just doesn't. They look different to me.
gotcha.
But it's painted really well. Ooh, fun.
Game ad
Down
Elay. Also, Game at Elay.
What is this?
If
Jessica
you're not
Rabbit
here-
with
So this looks like
I don't even know.
a play on a character named Lust from an anime called Fullmetal Alchemist.
Oh, is
Jen's
that
favorite
supposed
show.
to look like Jessica Rabbit?
That's Jen's favorite anime.
I mean,
by
she
the way.
kind of has. She's like a really like voluptuously beautiful woman in the
Okay.
show, and she has the weird like creepy nail
Yeah.
hands.
Oh, Gamma Elay is.
Yeah, it's Lust
here.
from FMA. Yeah,
Okay, that's really neat.
the red definitely sells the
I like
Jessica Rabbit.
the red is awesome.
I wish that we had more photos. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any other ones that Game at Elay had provided. So we only have this one. Unfortunately, I wish the lighting was a little bit better so we could see
It's
a
a great
little bit
job
more
from
work.
dress to skin to hair.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I love the red in the hair. It's-
No, she's really bad. Game Delay. Game Delay's like, nope, not giving any other photos. You guys get just this one.
No, that I think that's a reference to the Jessica Rabbit line of "I'm not bad, I'm just drawing that way,"
Oh, got it. Okay.
which is what
like,
I
Game
just
Delay.
said. Game Delay, I think she looks fantastic.
No, it looks great.
Oh my gosh,
This is cool. I
This is
really
so
like
cool.
the choice of doing the burnt out eye sockets
Yeah.
or the
Yep.
paint is really cool.
Yep.
So,
This one I did
props.
see because this one slid into my Facebook feed or Instagram feed
It was also posted somewhere in the Discord as well, outside of that channel.
So
The neighbor kid only sent one photo. You didn't
But this
paint
is
the
great.
back. I like this one.
yeah,
This
great.
is exactly
cool.
what I would be looking for from monochromatic as well. You see all that royal purple incorporated in every single one of these colors. The
Those
skin,
eyes are
like,
awesome.
there's a lot of subtlety to the skin as well, and
Just the
which
whole,
I really like.
The whole face, the expression. I like the model.
Yeah, it is also just really cool model.
Yeah.
So great
Purple, I
job,
think purple.
Ryan. Panic Bomb.
Green.
This is actually a cool one. Using bright yellow green as your core color,
Yeah.
and then adjusting it with the black and the white is really cool because bright yellow green is a great color on its own. When you start mixing it into other stuff, really cool things happen, and you get really nice greens like this. You get that nice mossy.
So one of the cheats that now that we're done with the challenge we can reveal to you is exactly what's happened here. The brighter and more vibrant of a color you start with, the more flexibility you're going to have to achieve that vibrancy throughout. One of the things that a lot of people learn when doing these types of challenges is that if you start with a dark color, when you want to go to your highlights, you don't gain much vibrancy. White doesn't make things more vibrant in a sense of color. It makes them higher value.
Yep.
And those are not always the same thing.
And you lose that saturation.
Yeah, very vibrant colors typically are at a higher value. Brighter colors more vibrant than dark colors, but does not mean that white being the brightest color adds a lot of vibrancy to your painting. It desaturates all the color. And so starting with something like bright yellow green gives you a really good basis for being able to take it anywhere you want to go, which is great.
I kind of wish that I had participated in this challenge and painted something for it this month. Because this is a cool concept.
You're
still
last.
do this if you want.
I still can,
You are not eligible to
I don't
win
need.
the challenge anyway.
I don't. No, that's okay. I don't need to, and or want to.
And that's why you can paint.
But looking at these is making me go, this would be a fun thing to paint.
Yeah.
Like to pick as a challenge.
These have all been really cool. I like this. Ooh, that's
Tech
a neat
Elf.
model.
This is rad. With
What
dark
was
gray
that?
blue.
It was dark gray blue.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love that you didn't use it at its full saturation as
Yeah.
one of your colors.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, maybe a little bit peeking through the shadows on the neck, the back of that braid of hair,
Mm-hmm.
but very little of the true color. So, a very unique way to do this. I would not have, had I just seen the picture, I don't know that I would have guessed the color, which is awesome.
No, I would have thought it was like
One of the grays, blue
I
gray.
might have gone silver. I really like this model. Very cool.
Good old Woodan bringing it home with some dark green
It's
brown
really good.
and a penguin bust.
Yeah. Very nice.
Oh, fantastic.
That looks good.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So
This is a great one. This is
yeah.
the same stuff that I saw on the dwarf. The dwarf used full saturation, which I think was what you guys were seeing that you weren't in tune with. The flesh and the sleeves on it were using the color at its full vibrancy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these we found that they use the color less straight out of the pot
Yeah.
and have desaturated the whole thing.
Mhm.
There's a big value to both. Using the color straight out of the pot gives you a really good foundation to build from or to lean into in your shadows and such. But stuff like this, where it's mostly all desaturated, looks fantastic. The skin on this compared to the fur and the shirt and everything, the material designation is great.
Yeah. This one, I mean, it looks like an old black and white picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very
And
cool.
that's kind of what the monochrome feel like painting will do, right? Is it
Well,
because
but, I
all
mean,
your colors are built that
the
way?
purple and the jade, and they've
Yeah.
been clearly that. This one looks like an old photo.
Yeah.
Right.
I think.
It's like the sepia tone
Yeah.
challenge we did.
Yeah.
This actually would have been a good model for that too. Flapjack Nickelsack. I love this frog, by
I
the
love
way.
the model.
Playing the banjo
What's in
It's so
mouth.
good.
with a little bit of a fern poking out of its mouth.
Is that
Devil
what it
went
is?
down to Georgia. He's looking for a soul to steal.
With
No,
camo
it's
green.
the banjo, the dueling banjo song. Near. Oh,
We
the
did-
Rainbow Connection. There we go. That's even better.
I could tell that you enjoyed this challenge because you did 3 submissions.
Oh,
Yeah, so we've seen 1 of 3.
Oh, the saltiest of dogs.
The saltiest of
Great
dogs.
name. It's not easy painting green.
It's a good
It ain't
model to
easy
stick for
being
this.
green.
Do
Yeah,
a
this
nice
is a
nasty
gooey,
slime monster.
gross. Good color for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes the model chooses the color for you. This is
Look
one
at
of
the
those.
background
Yep.
of this picture, though.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
I didn't even notice that.
What's that?
Look at the
Look at the
background.
background of the picture.
Rah, rah, rah.
Hey, you know what?
The Evil Empire.
They used.
And it's
Pro
sitting on a
Profile
thing
Challenge.
of Master's brush soap.
Oh gosh, man. Bummer.
That's okay. Still
Oh.
a good model. Oh, fun.
Flying
Flying
pigs.
pig.
When pigs
I
fly.
love the
That's
flying
really
pig.
good.
Nice
Is there-
use of the red here,
Okay,
mixed
I
with
can
your
see
white
the-
and black.
Yeah, kind of the pink. A little bit.
Flapjack
Disqualified.
disqualified. We do not disqualify or
No,
require anybody to
You're
use
allowed.
Procurl paints for these. We gotta be inclusive,
Floyd.
folks.
We're
Pink
inclusive,
Floyd.
but we can make fun of them.
Yes. I try not to make them feel too bad. I just try to go, hey, there's some other great colors that you can use. Maybe you should try.
Zambies.
Zambies, what's up?
What's happening, girl?
Froggy. Frog.
Zambies, is that a compliment or an insult?
What's
I'm
that?
not sure.
Said,
So-
oh, Sophia said, Zambies, we saw one that looked like you. Like a model that looked like Zambies?
and so it was like, compliment, of course. So Chills 340 did this really cool looking frog. I like the little bit of the desaturated red that you got on the back there.
I feel like this is like a real frog.
It reminds me of like a poisonous frog or
Yeah.
something. Like one of those frogs that, oh, it's so cute and tiny. It will kill you.
And then it kills you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to lick the frog? That's how
Don't
you
lick
die.
this frog.
Yeah.
Ghoul Studio. Hello.
Hello.
Don't lick this frog.
And I Sophist.
Ooh, look at this guy.
With the
his
orange
orange red.
Another very good bright selection that
Yeah.
lets you
Nice.
pick
I like
from
it.
like high vibrancy
Well, this is a good example of like,
base and then
things that you
desaturate
can do.
down into where you need to go or up into your highlights.
yeah, the more of that bright saturation you get, the more of this kind of thing that you can do, right? Like orange red plus white makes a pretty convincing skin tone. And then you just incorporate more of that orange red, all of a sudden you have a beard color, and then you have that red armor plate color. And then you incorporate a little bit of the orange red when you're doing the coal black and the old titanium white, and you get that metallic.
Well, on the skin. Guy looks a little surprised he has a gun.
He's like,
He just kinda
"I
looks
got a
surprised, like, what am I
gun."
doing?
Ah.
Where I am right now.
Yeah, he looks a little frightened. He's pointing everybody in the direction, like, go that way. But I'm not sure he wants to be where he's at.
Sharky, there was no challenge there was no blah, blah, blah. There's no
Oh, no
color
color?
listed. So I couldn't find a color for this one.
It's blue.
I assumed so.
It's a form of blue. I don't know which one. Sky
Right.
blue.
Some sort of blue.
Maybe that's the thing we gotta guess.
Oh, yeah. You gotta guess the color. Ochre, and this one's
Ochre.
awesome.
With the gray blue. Going again with another bright color.
All right, yeah. See, and I think that you got to near the point where we saw with the dark gray blue, right? I
Mhm.
think both these colors.
This-
Desaturating the dark gray blue and then using the gray blue more at near peak value got you very similar results. So great showing these
skin
in the
on this
same
one, I think is
journey.
Mhm.
These are awesome.
Yeah, you guys have been knocking this out of the park.
very pretty face.
This is where I wish everybody was in here on a microphone and kind of a panel sense so that we could ask the real questions, the tough ones like, okay, so what did you learn through this process?
Yep.
Where was your aha moment?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what did you find as being the thing that jumped out at you that made you get it? Because that's what these are for, and especially a challenge like this where it's like, okay, how am I supposed to make this model look interesting with one color? And when did it start to click?
Cannibalistic Zombie says you could do that via the Discord.
You could do that via the
No. It's like managing cats. Then everybody's talking at different times. You got to put them in the hot seat and have them on camera for them to behave.
I will
This
say
one could maybe also work for the December challenge, but you can't recycle. You gotta change it a little.
I will say the change that we made for the threads to pull the submissions from worked like a charm. It was much easier to pull them all instead of having to go through 5 million posts. Although I did it anyways just to make sure I picked up the last couple that didn't get posted.
Woo!
Ryan 2. Yep. Submission number 2. I think this is really awesome.
I mean, obviously, I like this color.
Mm-hmm.
This looks really cool.
100%. Nailed it.
Really, really, really nice gradients on the top too.
The juiciest squid ever. It is.
The juiciest
It really does look
squid.
juicy.
Yeah, this one's
one's so
awesome.
juicy.
Again, you can just see you've played really well with the darks and up to the highlights and captured all of the variations in between pretty much. And that's one of the keys to using a monochromatic scheme is to get as much out of the color as possible.
Blood Walrus.
What's going on here?
This one's rad. Red caps. Red caps doing bad red cap things. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I said I'm scared of squid and octopus, but I love this so much. Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
really good, right?
It's so good.
Love
This
the
one I would
non-top
need
elements.
to see you lean in a little bit more into the red for the skin
Yeah, it's looking a little cool.
and the skulls, right? Because they feel a little more like the hint of red that you may have in the real world doesn't translate over to the photo, but great work on this one.
Yeah.
Great storytelling with it.
Source, you're correct. That is not the point of the challenge. Hold on. Oops. Ooh. That's
Oh
neat.
yeah.
Okay. Really quick though. Source said I'm waiting for that aha moment when a challenge is something I already know how to do, so I can participate.
Good
Not
luck.
the
It's not
point.
gonna happen.
So you can do what? Well, you can participate in any of
That's
these.
the
What are you
whole
talking
point.
about?
Participate anyways.
Okay, this model is really cool.
Yeah, Jason, this is sweet.
I love this one.
This is awesome.
This one is number one. It's just a cool model,
Yeah.
right? They've
what's in
sculpted
there?
this
What's
with the
going on?
hand coming out of the screen to pull off a near fabric push
Yeah.
kind of
Mhm.
feel, which is great. Very horror flick.
The wood looks really nice.
Yeah, the wood's great.
The dials are really cleanly done.
This is the third submission, number 3.
Yeah. Yep.
Somebody really loved this one. No, these are all great. Fantastic job.
We had 3 separate people do 3 submissions each,
Yeah, this one's tremendous.
and Flapjack did 2.
I want to believe
You're
that
getting
it's
buffering?
because that
Buffering,
aha
like,
moment
there's
existed
nothing
for
going
you,
on
and you
our-
really
on
just
our
got
end
it and
right now.
dove in.
No issues on our side right now.
Sacrifice a lamb to the internet gods. Yeah, we're not seeing anything on our end, guys.
Mm-mm.
It might just be something on Twitch's end that's hiccuping a little bit.
Try refreshing your
try refreshing.
stream if it's glitching.
Yeah,
'Cause
worst case
everything looks
scenario, you
good
can
on our
swap.
end.
You can swap to YouTube potentially too if you need to. If Twitch is being a pain in
Or
the butt.
AC said, "Let me spoil what you need to do to participate. Your best."
There you go. Right on. That's exactly
Is
it.
the wood grain printed or is it actually painted? We don't know. Is Ryan here?
I don't know. There was an unpainted picture of this that was gray, so I think it's painted on.
Wow, like they. Very cool.
There might be some like faint texture there that could be followed to make it easier, but I
Wait, is
couldn't
this-
tell.
Oh, Ryan and Rydon. Okay, not the same. This one's
Right on with some burnt red, painting guts from Berserk.
Yeah, great job with the highlights and stuff again to bring out the different materials.
Mhm.
Mine's
Metal
probably
metal
lagging
feels very
because I have
different than cape and
174
skin and
tabs
hair on this guy. This is Jen's other favorite anime.
Yeah.
The
I
first one
did.
was Full Metal Alchemist.
Purple.
Skinner with the crazy intricate dragon.
A lot of scales on that dragon.
Yep, somebody was in scale jail for a while. And it wasn't me. Yeah,
Well, this one's beautiful.
this is really, really nice.
Another really neat model.
This is
Yeah,
a model
that's a
that I
really
would look
cool
at and
model.
go, I don't really want to paint this. This is a lot. Widan's submission number
fun.
2. This is transparent blue, getting a little cut off at the bottom, which I thought was an interesting choice to go with a transparent color instead of an opaque color, which I thought was really cool.
Another great one, though, right?
Yep.
Because you really get to play to the color's strengths. That pure pigment is going to be way more vibrant throughout its mixing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the dragon is from my third favorite anime. Very nice. Ooh.
And Widan's submission number 3.
I catch Jen on the weekend all the time.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's set
Jen,
this
are
up
you
with
an
the
anime
way she
enthusiast?
acts.
I mean-
Is she'll tell you she doesn't like animation, right? But all on the weekend, right? When she thinks I'm not paying attention, I'll be peeking over. And what is she doing? She's watching her favorite anime flicks.
I like this story. I wish it was true.
I'm not going to tell you the name of it because that's for me.
She goes to bed at night and turns on the bedroom TV so that I can hear it throughout the rest of the house, and it sounds like she's watching How I Met Your Mother.
That's what it sounds like.
But what is really happening is that she's in there on her iPad, right,
Wait,
with
is
her
this true?
Crunchyroll, her
Just under the
Crunchyroll
covers, like
subscription.
when you used to
Oh,
stay
okay.
up late reading a book when you were a kid, or was that just me? Ooh, I
General
like this
Ginkgo.
color.
Nice little ghostly apparition
I see.
with Jade.
This
which is
feels
cool.
Cold.
Jade again, if you're doing anything that's in that kind of wispy undead soul kind of
That's
thing,
perfect.
Jade is your color.
Yeah.
This is great.
Jade with a little bit of black, a little bit of white. Takes you to
Ooh, is
amazing,
this like some
creepy,
kind of
scary place.
spirit coming out of the book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
What's that guy?
So I'm not sure what this is.
He's like,
It's a scary monster thing.
yeah.
But
He
also
has weird
another
hands.
Jade.
I'm gonna go with some sort of D&D creature.
Yep,
Oh.
that tracks.
Gotcha.
I don't know what kind of. It's a hook horror.
General
Jade.
Ginkgo, hello. We just saw.
General Ginkgo. Hello.
Ooh,
Flapjack with
Flapjack.
dark golden brown. Also a really good color for this.
Oh, and what a
Really
job!
Nice.
Yeah.
Flapjack. Really, really nice.
What a job!
Killing it.
This is great.
Yeah, fantastic job on this.
Really, really nice.
Again, all of the materials jump off as being completely separate. We've got some really good, like full value on the pants that works and sets itself apart from everything else. But you still find that, again, like when we were talking about a sepia photo, this is capturing that
Yeah.
100%. Great job.
Hey,
Zombie.
I designed that model.
I designed that model.
The plaid
You
cape.
did plaid.
Yep.
Did you use plaid paint?
I'm gonna be
Yep.
honest.
Use plaid paint.
Zombie's been pulling
Cheater.
out all the stops when it comes to plaid. I actually hate mine. What? This is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, really good. Again, this one's really cool because rather than telling the story with the variations in color, because the whole model really keeps kind of the same level of color other than the skin goes brighter, everything else stays, and you've used texture and the design on the plaid to really separate things out, right? The metal shines,
Yes.
the texture on the leather shows that distress, the line work on the jeans or the pants shows that. So great job here using a different method of kind of painting everything the same color, but letting your brush tell the story in the way that the brush stroke hits the model. I love this. I think it's great.
Very cool.
Yeah, not sure how that barbarian stood still long enough.
Or pig bacon with the orange red.
Orange red, another great one.
Yeah.
Again, because
Angry
it gets you
looking red.
into that like weird, almost brown range with black.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put a hint of white in it, that gets you there even quicker. Yeah, fantastic.
Big Bobzilla.
See, now this is cold.
Yeah.
This is cold.
This is a great December challenge color right here, right? This looks like you put him on a snow base. You know, and this guy's freezing. He's just frozen, as a matter of fact. He wants to give you a hug, but he's frozen.
Zombie couldn't resist using the plaid tutorial to paint.
Nice. You're talking about the short one that Jason did, where he just painted plaid right on the model?
Yeah.
That one was really good.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite tutorials.
I don't know why everybody bitches about it. Super simple.
Yeah.
It was
Just
the
watch
same
my video.
model- yes, it
Pick
was
up the
same
model, paint
as
plaid.
the
I don't get it.
tutorial.
Yeah, I don't get. I'll see what the problem is.
Pick up model, paint plaid. 2 steps. Literally 2 steps. Holy gross.
Yeah, this is gross.
Purple guts.
Holy
Purple
gross.
guts.
They look slimy too.
They are
really good.
slimy.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Again,
really good.
using the full vibrancy of the color to be the gross part and then desaturating it for the skin, I think works great.
Purple snot.
Snot.
This is gross.
It's great. Yeah. This is great. It's horrible and wonderful all at the same time.
This is also really
General
awesome.
Ginkgo. Awesome.
General Ginkgo knocking it out of the park with
Yep.
Dark Plum.
I like it.
This is
Gwenum.
Gwenum, using a lot of that dark hot pink on the dark suit. You can see
Gwenum?
there.
Like Venom, but
But Gwen,
Yeah.
Spider Gwen.
yeah. Why is everyone?
It's like Deadpool everything.
so
There's Gwen everything too.
Venom is a parasite, so it can attach itself to different people.
But
It
like,
still does the Venom
why
thing.
why the name Gwen? Why like Gwen, Spider Gwen?
Gwen Stacy
Oh,
was
just Gwen
Spider-Man's
Stacy's-
girlfriend.
Yeah.
I thought
Her-
She
her
she
official-
originally passed away and Spider-Man couldn't save her.
Yeah.
Right? And so that became one of his big burdens to bear along with
gotcha.
his uncle, his great uncle. And so yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought MJ was his girlfriend.
That
Also
after
correct,
Gwen.
yes.
Gotcha.
This
People
is like
are
high
allowed
school
to date
girlfriend.
others. Like you don't have to stay with that same person.
Yeah.
I get it.
This is like high school girlfriend versus MJ, which is like post.
This was first true love.
I thought,
Yes.
I thought they were in high school.
And I think that she was the police chief's daughter, right?
Yes.
I think Chief Stacy was the
Yes.
police chief in New York.
That sounds right.
I feel like that's right. Some bigwig. I'm
Sorry,
thinking
I
I'm
need
in
this
OG
little
Spider-Man now. They've probably redone all of this.
primer on all these superheroes. I don't.
They've
Also,
retconned all of what I knew
her
as
official
Spider-Man.
superhero title is not like Gwen. It's Ghost Spider. There's Spider-Man, Ghost Spider.
Gotcha. So if you're in the know,
Everybody
Spider-Gwen.
just calls her Spider Gwen or Gwen Stacy or whatever. Very few people that I have heard talk about it.
General Ginkgo, another one. Awesome.
General Ginkgo. Oh, General Ginkgo also did number 3 with Payne's Gray, which is objectively kind of hard color to do this challenge with.
This one, Ginkgo, I think more time spent on the various materials would do you some justice. The
No.
fur and the handle of the axe versus the armor. He has a lot of armor. But on this one, I think I want to see more brightness pulled into some of the things and more darkness played into some of the things. The nice thing with Payne's Gray is it gives you so much, like you look down on the shins and the inner thighs and you've got that darkness. I think I'd want to see just a little bit more play on the contrast. But looks really good. She didn't die in Brazil
That
because she was
and-
too popular.
She didn't die because she was too popular. That's funny.
Like
Well,
back
that's
in the
what they
day,
just
like
said.
Gwen died way back before they gave a damn about who was popular.
Yeah, right on. That's what they were saying. There may have been a little lag when they were explaining that part. All right. So
It's time to pick. I know which one I want. So I shall pick first.
No, I'm doing the Conan and the dark golden brown.
That's a great pick.
Yep, that's mine.
That is not my pick, but
That's
it is
mine.
a very good pick.
That's mine.
Mine's the TV with the hand.
The barbarian.
but,
Yeah, the TV is awesome too.
Yeah, that one's mine. That one's mine.
Cannibal, the hardest
we
job
need
is
to
picking.
go back through and look.
I love that TV. I think that TV
I don't
looks
remember.
looks
I
great.
liked a lot of them.
There's a lot of them that are fantastic.
Yeah, there are plenty of other.
I've gotten
really
to the point
amazing
in
ones to
picking
pick.
on these that I just go with the first one that jumps out at me,
Yeah.
and it's like, yes.
Yeah, I had the benefit of having to
So
put this
So
whole
this
thing
one-
Blackjack
together.
Nickel Sack is mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, did I just also no? Wait,
They can't win twice.
Jack,
So
I think-
that's number 2.
No, mine wasn't. It was
with this many submissions,
it was
that's the
Ryan.
problem. You can only win one.
All right, so this is Jason's.
This one's really good. Yeah. All the ghostly
Also
ones
good.
are really good too.
Also good. Also
That
good.
one's fantastic. Yeah.
Also good. I'm gonna keep on saying this for all of them because they're all really good.
Yep.
This is mine.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
So, like, I can
Right.
pick that one.
Yeah, that one we can't pick because it's our.
And that's hard because that one's fantastic too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okran did a great job. This mech,
Nice.
that mech, the Iron Man or Man of Iron is good too. Oh, the pig.
Pig. Slimy gross.
Oh,
Okay.
Mhm.
oh.
We're not making it easy for ourselves.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well,
Oh.
Ryan's already okay.
Okay.
Give me a delay.
Oh,
Oh,
that was so good.
yeah, I forgot about that one too.
Awkward. See, Awkwardness tries to get to us with the cute models
Yeah.
too. That one's
Yes.
like the double whammy.
I
And
think
Face
Awkwardness
Masher.
knows that I'm
ah,
part of this, and like,
Oh,
let me
man.
throw a cute one in for Jen. All right.
Can we like pick 5 each?
everybody wins. That's what we say every time.
Yeah.
Every time we say everybody wins.
You know what the crazy thing is? Even if we picked 5 each, that's not even half.
Yeah, I know. That was really good.
Although if you take away all the duplicates, maybe we get to around half.
Hard to beat that. The penguin's really good.
I'm picking.
Good.
Jen's like, I'm picking.
You own the joint. You can do whatever you want.
I'm picking this one,
Okay.
Nice.
and
Widan.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
All right. So if we can get
The boss has spoken.
Widan,
there was something about that one from Okran that just jumped out at me. I really liked it.
nice.
And
Okran.
I mean, this one's
Ryan D2260, I think it was.
oh, it's probably Ryan D, huh? Not Ryan.
It might be Ryan D. Yeah. I don't know.
Like,
I'm
cool
bad
name,
at these sort of
Ryan.
things. And then Jason's pick was Flapjack.
Dork Depot says that I went to War Room last night for hobby night and bought more paints. The bonus side is that even though I was not supposed to buy more paints, I now have the majority, so my wife doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
There you go. Problem solved.
See,
you get all
pull
of
the
them.
Band-Aid off. You're just like,
Yeah.
well, you don't
Get
have to
all
yell
of
at me
them and
anymore
say,
because now I have
"Listen, I
all.
don't have to buy anything else because I'm done.
I
Have
do
all.
want to thank everybody for participating. This challenge
Heck
was
yeah.
definitely not for the faint of heart. It was a very complicated challenge,
Yeah.
and you guys all executed it really, really well,
Fantastic job.
making it hard for us yet again. I say this every month, but it keeps on being true. So keep on making it true, everybody. And we're very excited to see what happens for next month's challenge.
You have a big love-hate with having to pick a model because I don't want to have to pick only one, but I love that they're all so good that I could pick almost any of them.
Jen, it was lucky she got to pick 2.
Well,
It's
so
like,
they're being all different.
well, make sure that you guys message Baby J directly in the Discord. I will be posting up the winners here probably before I leave, just to make sure that you guys know to message me directly.
And if you gonna post these on our social media too.
Yeah, on Thursday.
So if you want to be tagged
Mhm.
on social media, let Jordan know how we can tag you.
Yeah, yeah.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yep.
Those places.
Yeah, if you want us to say anything other than the Discord.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah, we'll just say that
Yeah.
this.
We're going to need your MySpace handle.
Yeah, please somebody give us a MySpace link. That would be so
That'd be
funny.
amazing.
If you have a dating profile, give us that. We'll help you out there too.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny.
If you got your Plenty of Fish, is that still a thing? Your Farmers Only?
I think so.
You're on Farmers Only? ChristianMingle.com.
Zambies, I'll pick a model and then you can blame me. Well, here's the thing. We're not blaming anybody for picking anything. It's difficult for us to pick only just 1 or 2.
You want to just pick them all.
Philip, I'll send y'all my Christian Mingle account.
Yeah, see? Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, man. The idea of of us being like, hey, check out this awesome model painted by Mr. Monument New Guy Phillip. Check out his profile here.
On Christian Mingle.
On Christian Mingle.
But see, what it means is that you have to only have pictures of model painting on your dating site.
Paint liquor.
This is the new challenge.
Absolutely killing me. Plenty of fridge.
Fridge.
Mini painters only. Paint liquors mingle.
Shelby's ex has got plenty of fridge. Fridge guy.
Browning Rebel, how does someone get into the Discord? You do so.
Press
There's
the
a link
button
right
on the
there.
link. Super simple.
Mo typed it in and it worked.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, scroll up a second. Yeah, look at that.
What?
Mo hit it.
Oh, you know
Mo's
why?
got the power.
No, I know why. Because we didn't turn the CloudBot thing off when we did the giveaway stuff.
Oh,
last
right,
week.
right.
Yeah, that's why the command still.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. I think we got a few questions.
Hit us with
First of
the
all, Tech Elf said, my
questions.
students were cheering every time my model popped up, made me smile. I love that
Nice.
you were watching this in your class.
That is so great.
That is awesome.
And great job.
If all the kids are still listening, to stay in school.
It's cool.
I don't know.
Don't eat the paint.
Don't eat the.
Don't eat the paint. Have fun
Listen
painting
to
miniatures.
your teacher.
Question everything.
Question everything.
Is MySpace even around? Maybe.
I think it's where musicians hang out.
I think it is still around, actually.
It became a big music thing. I don't have any idea.
Browning Rebel, we do ship internationally, but better. There are stores all over the world that carry our products. So check our store locator here. I'm going to put a link up for you.
Where are you at?
Yeah, where are you? Out of the US. There's a link to our store locator. You can put in your country, your postal code, and see if there's anyone close to you. Where you could buy locally, or even within your own country, the shipping will be better.
Mo was like, and I felt amazing for a few seconds. You are amazing, Mo. It was all you. You
Never
made the
change.
bot work for you. You submitted the bot.
Yep, you got the bot to do your bidding. You have won.
Source said, painting question. Would you use Noosh for verdigris? If not, how else, other than
Totally.
a dry brush metallic over jade or turquoise?
So there's a couple of really great verdigris videos on our YouTube. Both, I think both of them are shorts. It's been a while since we've done them, so if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see them. Neither of those were done with Noosh, but so that gives you the option if you don't want to use Noosh. But Noosh is an excellent solution for doing all sorts of different types of verdigris.
Wait, Browning Rebel, you are in the U.S., but you're going to be deployed? That's still U.S. If it's a military address, it's still U.S. shipping.
Yep.
So you can order directly from us there.
Yeah, if you're on base, we can still do AFP, FPO.
I will tell you that USPS is taking a month or more to military addresses right now.
Is it
Yeah, it's
really?
insane.
It's insane.
That's
But
ridiculous.
it's been, for the past several months, we've had people be like, hey, stuff is still in.
Yeah.
Swifter Bear said, I'm having issues with base coating. I can't tell if I'm just not waiting enough for the paint to dry, but burgundy is clumping on each layer. A bit of confession, I also get really confused on thinning my paints on a wet palette. You don't have to use a wet palette.
So clumping makes me think it's over thinned, too wet. And when the water's evaporating out, which is what causes what we call polymerization in the paint, right? So it's a resin polymer, so that whenever heat is applied, which heat happens through evaporation, then it turns into a form of plastic, like a thin sheet of plastic that locks the pigment down. That's how acrylic paint works. If there's too much water, it thins all that out too much. The pigment kind of washes out in weird areas, and when the water goes away and evaporates, the pigment clumps because it's no longer held together by the polymer correctly. You've broken what we call breaking the paint. Not that that's really the term that anybody would use, but it's just overly thin. And when you apply an overly thin paint, because you can do that, we call it glazing, So you can thin them down, but you have to be very, very light with your brush stroke and not apply a lot of paint when it's super, super thin. Each brush stroke applies just a little bit. When you're base coating, you don't want the paint to be thin hardly at all. Like, you know, I'm using a dry palette, right? Just a piece of palette paper, and this was the purple that I used to base coat like all the flesh, and that's why I got done in one coat, right? Because I just dip into I get my brush just a little bit damp, and then go straight to the model. If you're on a wet palette, the wet palette needs to be almost dry on the top and wet underneath, right? And if it's wet on the top of the paper, then it's thinning your paint as your paint sits there, which means that then if you get your brush damp, put a damp brush into damp paint, now you can be over thinning, and when you lay your base coat, it's probably not giving you very good coverage, right? So the burgundy is probably see-through. You're seeing your primer color underneath, and then you're layering up more and more and more. If you're going to paint with it wet as your base coat layer, you got to paint it on there, let it dry completely to the touch before you do your second coat, which would be, 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, not very long. But you need to be careful to put that extra time in between coats, the thinner your paint is, because it will also tear, right? If you have a paint layer that's not quite dry and you put that kind of wet paint over it that's, overly wet almost, then it's going to re-wet the paint below that isn't fully cured, and when you move it, it's going to actually pull and tear, almost like a curtain when you pull it back. It pulls those folds into it, and that can look like clumping too. So just be careful with all that, and don't be afraid to use the paint without any thinning. I know that in our world of hobby, everybody says, you having problems? Thin your paint more. Be careful with that. You'll see that the whole way that we teach painting is just to use the dampness on your brush. So let me get a big enough brush that I can show it here.
Face Master, yes, we are at LVO every year.
So this is a number 6 brush, completely dry right now, doesn't have any water in it. You can see it's not really holding a point, it's spread out, whatever. Go rinse it, get a bunch of water in it, goes to a point, has the sheen now, if I can get in light like that, right? And if I wipe it on my thumbnail, probably see a little bit of dampness. And so now I control that. If I don't wipe it on a paper towel at all, super wet, and anytime I touch it, I get a full droplet of water. If my brush is this wet and I bring it into my paint, let's get some paint out here. Do some purple again. Right? So the brush is super wet, gave that much water on my thumbnail, right? So if I do this and I pull a tail of paint out here, that paint's going to be super thin because it's blending in with all the water on my brush. So see, just grabbing the edge of, don't ever dip your paintbrush into the paint droplet, just pull paint from the edge. That way you can do the mixing and the thinning you want to out here, but you already have the original paint to go back to. Do this. Now without having to do anything else, just the water on my brush, now I can glaze, right? I can use this purple as a way to just add a little bit of tone to whatever's underneath it. Doesn't turn the whole model purple, just gives a little bit of a purple haze to whatever I've painted it over, right? If I instead go back and wipe most of the water out of my brush, right? So it's still damp, it still has a sheen to it, but when I touch my fingernail, it's not going to leave that droplet of water there anymore, right? Because I wiped most of the water off on a paper towel. Now when I go and I'll pull paint, not from the wet spot down here, but from over here, pull paint out, and you'll see it's not as thin because this is almost exactly the way the paint is, just with a little bit of water on the brush to keep it flowing. Then when I paint, I will get actual lines. It will have a lot more opacity and a lot more control for filling in, for coloring an entire area, right? But I still want to let that dry before I go over it again. So I'm constantly moving my brush strokes to, the rest of the area that I'm painting, right? Maybe backfilling a little bit to get it to blend better, smoother, right? But then I won't go get more paint and paint that same area. I'll go paint another area instead. So I'll go clean, dry my brush again, get a little bit more paint, and then go paint another area maybe right next to it and do the same thing. And the only place I'll work more is right in between to make sure I don't create a line where those paint areas came together, right? And that's how I keep painting, but I don't go back here until this is dry. Once it's dry, then I could come back and grab more paint, and if I wanted to darken it up, add more opacity to it, I can do that. But if I act too quick, I'll tear this paint over here, right? So like if I get really wet again, grab more paint, and even on my hand, go back over it. Notice how now it's not making it dark, it actually tore the paint down to my skin, right? So you got to be careful with that.
Dork Depot said the dating thing has given me an idea for hobby night at War Room. Put a different model at each station and do a speed dating painting. You get 5 minutes to work on the model, then you have to move to the next one and pick up where the last person left off.
That'd be a great idea.
That sounds fun.
You don't even know what they were doing.
And not necessarily dating related, but the speed dating concept.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I also like the idea of like singles night at the game store, like for singles to go play games and meet people that have similar interests.
Could be,
or
yeah.
singles painting night. How fun.
Swifter Bear, good. Yeah, that's a pretty typical thing, regardless of paint brand, regardless of how new or seasoned you are at painting. These are problems you'll run into. I run into it because I get hasty when I'm sitting here on stream.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do a base coat, and then I want to do the next color because I'm excited, and I've only got the one model I'm working on. And I will tear the paint the same way, even though we've been painting for years and years.
Philip said singles night at a game store? Isn't that just a normal Friday?
Dang, Philip. That's brutal. Don't worry, he's new.
See what we deal with around here, Chad.
Don't worry. We haven't.
CRB
He's
said,
new.
ouch.
Ouch, Philip. Ouch.
Philip is probably there too, so I think he's
Jen,
allowed.
way to throw him under the bus.
This is not the brush I want.
See, he even says it. He said, I'm allowed to say it. I'm a single nerd.
This is also true.
Well, huzzah, huzzah! I'll just throw back my legs and pollute my britches with delight.
The Seraph, thank you so much for the Prime.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's $3.50.
Time flies when you're having fun. I liking your trench programs over there, Jason. Still having a blast?
I hate him, I quit.
That was not what I was expecting you to say. Okay, I'm sure we can find somebody to take them over for you.
I hate him, I quit. No, I love him. I'm moving into red gray on top of the flesh tone that I did. Trying not to laugh every time Chris nearly blows his brains out sneezing today.
True. Or Gabe. Only Gabe.
Gabe went home.
He did go home.
Gabe went home.
Gabe went home today, yeah. Well, I'd have gotten around to it eventually.
Mo said, did they say how long they were keeping the backer kit open?
I don't know if they said it on stream. I think 2 weeks, I want to say. I feel like he said it closes down maybe the end of next week.
Punisher said that's why I had to find a long-term partner before getting into.
Yeah.
Jason did that too.
I did that too. Snag them when they're unawares.
Snag them when they're unaware.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Jason.
Am I
All
wrong?
the single people here
No.
it's too late for that.
It's too late.
People are allowed to leave? They have homes? Everyone lived at the shop.
No, we tried to bring cots in and tell them they couldn't leave, and they started calling like federal authorities. Got really weird around here for a minute.
I'm about as close as you get.
Jordan's the only one that lives in. Well,
No, Jacob does.
Jacob does.
He's a little further away.
Jacob
A little
actually
further.
walked to work more than Jordan has. He walked to work almost all of last week.
Really?
Yep.
I walked to work almost all last week. Actually, I think I did all last week.
Not buying it.
Sugar Rush wants to know if Trench Crusade will be coming to retail.
So they spoke about this at length yesterday on the stream, to which they said that there was always a plan for it, but they never thought they would have to think of it so quickly because they didn't really plan for the Kickstarter being as large as it wound up being. So now they know that the demand is much larger than they could have ever dreamed of, and they're having to think about things like injection molded plastics, the margins that they need to attain, because right now everything is 3D printed. 3D printing doesn't scale well for cost of manufacture. So, that's where they're at. So there isn't a great answer for it, but they plan to start working with retailers to find how this could work. Yes. I mean, I think what we've seen is we've seen a neat idea that's backed by a tremendous community of people that love it turn into something more than either the community or the developers thought would happen in such a big way that now you'll see them having to kind of come to grips with all of that next step. Because I asked them, I said, so what does the future look like for being able to get these models when I see my friends having fun, but I didn't hear about the Kickstarter, didn't have the money, all that? Because that can be the death knell for a game. And they have a really good plan. They have already got plan for all of the models to be. There was no fear of missing out models. There was no exclusive models on the Kickstarter. So you can get everything that we're holding in our hands now, plus more. And those will be available on My Mini Factory and through the game, whatever it's called. I forget who the manufacturer of the 3D printed models is. But they have a company that's printing out all the 3D models for them. And it'll continue to be available on those places as soon as the pledge manager is done. And they get all of the STLs out to people that want them. Then you'll be able to buy the digital ones. And then I assume the same thing for, I don't know that we really delineated in our conversation yesterday as to when physical models will be able to be bought. Those obviously won't be able to be bought until everybody from the Kickstarter has their physical models.
Which will take some time, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because they had
they got to print a bajillion.
something thousand people.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those people bought the physical models rather than the STLs, though. So it'll be interesting to see.
That's true.
Because a lot of people could buy the STL only packs. They have printers on their own or friends with printers or whatever.
I would assume the large majority of that would be.
Tyler O has a question. Jason, on yesterday's stream, you were doing the Shrine's Mace.
Yep.
What paints are you using or planning to use on it?
So I just did dark silver on it yesterday, and then I will highlight with silver, wash with black, and then take a look at it. Probably on all. I haven't done any of the weapons beyond that on any of the models I've been painting yet, so I haven't really made my final decision. I want to do some transparent, like reflected colors on them, like some earth tones or something reflecting back into it. So right now, all I've done on the weapons like that is just go through and do the base, go to dark silver, like on the spikes on the Catherine wheel and things like that. Same with, although I did do blood on this sword, which may have been getting a little ahead of myself. I wanted the weapons to be shiny, like the business end of the weapons to be like, not gross. So that's kind of what I stuck with. We'll see, though. I might wind up, it might be that blood flecks on them winds up being enough. Like this is dark silver, silver highlight, black wash on the cleaver and the mace for the stigmatic nun. So, it could be that I just leave them that simple. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy.
Hey, Liquor, your name is not pink on YouTube. Did they say when the STLs are being sent?
They did, actually. They said they were hoping to get them out, by the holiday?
Well, they said that they think it'll take 2 weeks, I think, to get everything out after the pledge manager closes. And the pledge manager closes, like, next week. So right before the holidays, I think. Or they said, December 16th or something like that.
Yeah.
So everybody will have the STLs, and then they said that early January the STLs would be able to be bought by others. They wanted to, as Jamie put it, they wanted everybody to be able to have fun with their toys, all the backers to have fun with their toys first, which I thought was great.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me.
The people that backed it and got you to this spot.
Yeah.
You know, get to
They should get some
print their stuff out, have some fun,
nice
see
things.
social media start gaining some traction with models being printed out, people you know, excited about it. I think that's a great way to do it. So.
Bye, Christopher.
Chris, don't let that sneeze kill you, buddy.
One of these days, my brain will just.
I was gonna say we gotta get you a catch pan for your brain. Excuse Fast Four is a dedicated Discord for Trench Crusade chat on Monument. No. The you can just join the normal server and we have Game Talk channel. You can just talk it right there. We don't have a dedicated Trench Crusade thing. They do have a dedicated Trench Crusade Discord as well, I believe.
They do.
I do not have the link, and I said we'd post it over on our Discord, and I didn't. So we'll get all those links together for you here in the next day or so that you can have a repository for getting the info that you want. But the Facebook group is a great place in their world as well. The things you have to suffer to watch Jen? What?
What? Skin's looking really good, Jason.
What guy?
The skin.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the red gray over the top of that skin combo gives us a really neat kind of, you know, not healthy pale look that I wanted.
Yeah.
That brings out the purple and the reddishness, you know, the kind of orangey, warm skin tones of number 14. I love calling it number 14, by the way. Keeps all that going. So yeah, I'm a fan of where we're headed with it. I like it. The problem with the red gray is it's a tricky color. I can't use it again because when I use it thinned like a glaze over the top of those skin tones, it works really well. If I use it again for another layer, it's going to start dulling down the whole model because it's actually a fairly mid-tone color, right? It's this. So it does not look like that on the model at all because what you're seeing is that skin tone showing through this color. You can see how if I were to continue on with that color, I'm going to get this really weird like stone gray look, which is not what I'm going for. I actually like red gray a lot for doing rocks and stone features and things like that. So you got to be careful with it. It's a great skin color to layer up when doing undead or Nurgle or whatever, where you want to do a real skin tone first. And then you add this kind of pale feel over the top of it. But you want to only do like one layer, you know, because the next layer can kind of ruin it. So tricky color to use. The next one we'll have to start adding into that, and I think we'll go again with the bright warm gray. I don't know, we don't have a whole lot of time. It's actually 4, so. That's more physical backers than I was expecting, but I don't know why I was expecting less physical backers than that. Oh, did they say how many they had? Did that get mentioned in chat?
I didn't catch it.
We got all of them in physical because I'm lazy.
Oh, the Kickstarter had 20,170 backers, and 9,304 of them did the physical.
Did physical
backers.
models. Well, nearly half.
Yeah. I bet a lot of those were physical and digital as well.
Well, all the
I wouldn't be
physical ones
surprised.
came with digital.
That is correct.
Yep. You couldn't do one. You couldn't do just physical.
I thought
from my
you could
knowledge.
do just physical knowledge.
It all came with the STLs too.
Hmm.
Pretty sure.
I'm just sworn that there was an option for just doing the physical, but maybe I'm crazy.
Well, we know that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Welcome back, Jen. Did everybody get out all right?
No, not everyone, but
Oh.
still people here.
Oh.
You guys ready to wrap up, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Set this down before I keep on painting. 'Cause it's hard to put down. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. We are going to close up shop. Don't forget, if you are still here and you were picked as one of the picks for this month's challenge, go ahead and message me, Baby J, on the Discord. I will put a post into the Discord channel as well, just congratulating everybody and thanking everybody for such great work. And yeah, Jen went ahead and put the links into chat for you guys. Make sure you guys click all those links. Check out the store link. You can buy all the fantastic paints that we've been using here on stream today. Check out the FLGS link so you can find local game stores near you, especially if you are out of the country. It makes it a lot easier to find local stores to get your product. And then check out the Discord link so you can continue on with this next month's challenge, which is going to be our chilly, cold, welcome to winter challenge. You can find more information about what specifically all the details are for that on the Discord. And then make sure you guys check out the YouTube link where you can find all the wonderful tutorial video content that we have. We're going to find somebody to raid. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow at 2 p.m. We stream every day during the week, Monday through Friday, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
We do this every day?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sometimes on Saturdays.
Oh
On
my
Twitch
god.
and YouTube.
On
Now,
Twitch and
if you're
YouTube.
on YouTube right now and you want to continue to watch hobby painting, you need to come over to Twitch and join the raid.
Yes, because we are going to raid into somebody
Raid
else
does not happen
to
on YouTube.
continue on your hobby goodness for the evening. Thank you guys so much. We will see you mañana.
Thanks, gang.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.